We rang the bells for the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Fredericksburg, and I think, for me personally, as we walked through the streets, it was the most powerful thing, the most powerful moment of the sesquicentennial observance. And I think there's something about a moment like that when this coming Thursday people will hear the bells at 3:15, and when they hear those bells, it will mean different things to different people. For some it will be mournful. For some it will be celebratory, the end of a war, the restoration of the Union, the confirmation of freedom for millions of slaves. But it doesn't matter. The bells are not being rung with a specific intent in mind. The meaning of them is entirely up to those who listen and what their experience with this history has been, and even with the sesquicentennial itself. And we hope that the 150th, as it's played out in this community with literally hundreds of programs over the last 5 years, we hope it has given people a kind of a deeper understanding of how this war is embedded in our culture, in our government, in our Constitution, in the fabric of our life, and what places like Appomattox still mean to us today.
Fredericksburg gave so much to the American Civil War. It's a community unlike any other in this entire continent. There are many places that became historically significant for a flashpoint in the American Civil War. Places like Gettysburg weren't even known before this place. But Fredericksburg is different in that the war came here in 1862 and it stayed. Where others had been blighted by a white heat moment, a couple of days of fighting, this area hosted the war day in and day out, month in and month out, for literally a year and a half of a 4-year conflict. No other area felt as much of the pain and oppression, the degradation, the destruction than the Fredericksburg area. So when it comes to remembering April 9th, 1865, now 150 years later, we realize that while this community gave so much, and perhaps more than any, they gained so much. And what we've done in the last 150 years, it's an amazing progress of who we are since that time. When the bells rang at Appomattox and resonated across the country, passing this word of peace and change and reflection, I think Fredericksburg will have more just cause than any to think and reflect on really where we were, who we were, and where we've gone and who we've become.